right, boys and girls, welcome aboard for week 1 of the NFL pregame party. Today, we're going to talk about the second weekend in college football. We had a big upset here and there, but we'll talk about what happened to the NCAA yesterday on the big Saturday. And we'll talk about the season opener, the Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs and the fallout from that game and the results of it. Plus, we'll go over our picks for week 1, and we'll make our predictions for who is going to win the divisions, who are going to be the wild cards, and who is going to eventually make it all the way to the big game this year. And it's all this week on NFL Pregame Party. And of course, I'm on the wrong thing, but we're going to get there. I promise. I promise we're going to. I promise we are. I hope. One of these days. Maybe. All right, welcome aboard. It's time for NFL Pregame Party. I'm your host, Joe's Atmosphere, the 12th man, as you can see, and it's good to see all of you. I'm wearing my Jimmy Graham jersey because we're throwing a party here today, and I got a friend coming over that actually gave me this jersey. And, of course, I've got my regular co-pilots, starting with Knock. What's happening, man?
Hey, not much. Doing my first ever stream, I guess you can call this.
Over on Twitch, yeah, man.
Yeah, it would be YouTube, but got to wait 24 hours for no reason whatsoever.
For no reason whatsoever, just to make sure you're
hours.
not a bot. That must be what it is, to make sure you're not a robot. Okay, it's good to see you, man. And, of course, we got the best backup quarterback in the league. What's going on? Small-time Republic Matt. What's happening, man?
Doing good.
Yeah?
I need to work on my lighting game a little bit, looks like.
A little bit. Ring light wouldn't hurt. But anyway, look, guys, I set up all of this on my sketching profile, so I'm going to have to switch back to that. All my graphics are set up over there. So, first of all, we got several things to get into today. First of all, I know Knock is all set for the college thing because he pigged out on it yesterday. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Thursday night's opener, which out of all the pick things I'm into, only 2 guys got right. Everybody on this show got it wrong. But Dallas actually got it right. Knock, he got it right. And so did my buddy Matt, my buddy Matt, though, who knows that division, he's a big Packers fan. He got it right. And then we're also going to go over our picks that we made last week for week 1. Das Wolfen has already crawfished on a couple of them, apparently. He reconfirmed them with me today, and 2 of them had changed. But and then we're gonna make our predictions for the division winners and the wild card teams, and who's going to make it all the way to the big dance and win it all. Take home Lombardi. So we're going to start with Knox College Football Report. And I chose this graphic because I'm pretty sure this is the biggest upset from yesterday, wasn't it? Bama going down at home against Texas.
Yeah, there was definitely some upsets, but this is the biggest one. At least for Texas, is the biggest one. I gotta say that. So with that broadcast, they had Pat McAfee on the sidelines. With his
really?
They did it.
I love Pat, dude.
Yeah,
love
they did a show with it, and it was basically just him.
That's when I hit the mute button.
Why? You don't like Pat?
No, hey, you're loud. We get it. We got it.
I don't know.
I like him
found
because
it
he's a
very-
wresler too. I don't know how he is.
Well, it's funny. He would have people on too, like the SEC, main guy in there was the president or chairman, whoever it is, one of the most powerful guys in college football. Who knows? And then he had Matthew McConaughey, who's a big Texas fan. He was there
he's always sideline.
He was very animated during that game. It was so funny. It was entertaining. It was very entertaining to watch him. It was a pretty big game. It was just everything that Alabama tried to do. Texas was matching it more.
Really,
that's what it seemed like, and it was a little bit more closer in the first three quarters. In the fourth quarter, Texas just kind of
that doesn't make me feel good for our last season in the Big 12. I just it doesn't make me feel good. I'm glad Bama went down, but I don't like the fact that Texas played so well. It's bittersweet for me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think we need to find, is there a stat out there? When's the last time the Chiefs and Alabama lost in the same week?
Right.
Gotta be.
Check that crazy ass stat.
Where's that
over
stat
the last 5 years? Right.
Their
home openers. Both of them losing their home openers. I don't know.
At home.
I think that would probably be. That's what I'm saying. They're home openers, right?
Yeah.
So I'll give you a quick stat. Alabama. I don't know how many games it is, but it was their first regular season non-conference loss since Saban's first year in 2007.
Wow.
And teams typically play 4 non-conference regular season games a year. And typically 3 of those 4 are not great teams, but one of the 4 is always at least a Power 5 team. So that means they've beaten, 15 Power 5 teams in a row in the regular season non-conference until Texas.
Wow. Impressive.
And a lot of those were neutral field or away.
Right. This was at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yep. It was definitely good. So, so that was definitely a fun game. That was one of many games I watched yesterday. I had my TVs behind me. You can see that I had 4 games on each TV, and then I eventually broke out the laptop and put it over there on the table behind me, and was watching a couple of smaller games on that one. I had my phones and just had a lot of games going.
You had a pig out, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So let's just go down the list here. I'm only going to mention a few of these because there was a lot of blowouts. Georgia blowout, Michigan blowout. You had the big game between Texas and Alabama. Texas obviously is going to move up the rankings pretty good. Alabama will probably slip to the late single digits to maybe even the double digits. Who knows? They won't fall that far. I think for the Alabama-Texas game, I just think Texas caught them at the right time.
Yeah,
because Alabama's still searching for their quarterback of the future.
Mm-hmm.
The kid that they had out there, what's his name, Matt? Jalen something.
Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, he looked good running the ball. When he broke away and ran the ball, but his passing game wasn't really up to snuff. We'll see what happens. I think Texas definitely caught him at the right time. I think that was the biggest thing.
If you're going to get these established programs, the bigger teams like a Kansas City, like an Alabama, you have to get them early before they hit their stride. You have to get them early in the season, and sounds like they did.
Yep. Yeah. And then let's see, Florida State blowout, Ohio State blowout, USC didn't even bother with that one either. A lot of these blowouts I didn't even bother with.
I think they had 49 at halftime.
Yeah, and Penn State blowout, Washington blowout, Tennessee a little closer than it might have been. How do you pronounce that? Pia?
Austin
Which one?
P.
Austin P. Okay.
Yeah, the Y
Tennessee,
silent.
number 9, Tennessee. It was kind of a close game for a little bit there, but Tennessee pulled away in the second half. And then Notre Dame had a pretty good game against NC State. That was definitely a slugfest early on. And then Utah and Baylor. I was really pulling for Baylor. I'm always a fan of upsets, so I was going for Baylor on this one against Utah, number 12. But in the fourth quarter, they just kind of collapsed and threw picks at the wrong time, and it just turned ugly to end it. Texas State and Oregon, number 13 Oregon. That was a really good game. I watched that one. Texas was up by 2 possessions in the fourth quarter, and then they just kind of gave it away. So that was a real fun game to watch. We'll see how Oregon does. Pac-12 is kind of interesting. It's like, is Pac-12 the best conference right now? Is it the deepest
15-0 against the rest of them?
And yet,
smart. What the hell?
Not even going to be a thing next year. So it's kind
what
of
the
funny.
hell is going on there, man?
Yeah, they're down to 2 teams left at the end of the year.
Actually, the Pac-12 did lose one game last night at 1 a.m.
I saw this stat.
Yeah.
I think when I got home from the show yesterday, before the night games is when I saw it. They up at that point they were 15-0 already. I was like, what the fuck?
They got to 18-0. Well, I think this was before the USC victory. I think they were maybe 19-0. Well, I guess if they got 12 teams, they would have had to be 23-0 whenever the final game happened. But
that's if all of them played both weeks. I mean, they may not.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't have any off weeks yet, and they wouldn't have been undefeated if they'd been playing each other. So yeah, I guess they would have been 23-0. And at 1 a.m. last night, Auburn beat Cal.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
You guys went out to Cal this weekend? Wow.
Yeah. Auburn had 230 yards, 12 first downs, and won the game, and 4 turnovers.
Wow.
I don't know how you win like that, but yeah, they did.
With so many games in college, you just never know what kind of game you're going to get.
Yeah. Cal missed 3 field goals and lost by 4 points.
Wow. There it is right there, bro. Woof.
Yep.
3 phases of the game, man. You got to be good at all 3. I'm telling
you. So yeah, then we got LSU blowout, Kansas State over Troy blowout, Oregon State over UC Davis blowout. This was a really good game. North Carolina and Appalachian State. Last year, what was it? They went it was 60-something to 60-something with overtime.
Yeah, they went to a bunch of overtimes,
It was a massive game last year. Mm-hmm. Same thing. Went into overtime again, and then North Carolina pulls it out. Mm-hmm. So they're going to stay ranked, I'm sure. And I was pulling for SMU in this Oklahoma game.
Of course you were. Leave my Sooners alone. Boom, Sooner. Damn it.
And it was close for the most part until, the second half. And then
I told you, I'm not even paying attention to them. Not right now.
Yeah.
I did watch this.
Texas. This was a little bit of an upset here as far as ranking-wise. I don't really know how good Wisconsin is. I don't know much about their program in general.
Perennially, they're good at running the ball. That's for sure. You get your linemen from Wisconsin.
But Washington State pulled out the upset. So they beat number 19. And Washington State, that's one of the other Pac-12 guys, isn't it? One left over? It's them in Oregon.
Washington State? I don't know. Probably.
So I don't know. Maybe making themselves a little bit more attractive. Maybe they'll get a ranking. And
who knows?
I did feel bad for Tulane. Another week without their starting quarterback. This score was 20-37, a lot closer in the game.
I was fixing to say that's pretty good. They're playing Ole Miss.
The last 5 minutes of the game was really when a couple of scores were made on turnovers.
Tulane's program's been getting better over the last few years.
Yeah, they're missing their quarterback, and it showed. It showed in that one. Their backup just wasn't up to snuff to do that. Plus, they're missing who was it? Spears for sure in the run game. So,
but look at the next game. The Rajon K. Jones.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Then Duke. Yeah, Duke beat up on Lafayette. So that was interesting. Duke has a game coming up here in a couple weeks. Who is it against?
They beat Clemson.
Notre Dame.
Didn't
they beat Clemson last week.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then they actually got Notre Dame in week 5. So that might be an interesting game to show if they're for real or not. So that'll be interesting to.
Yeah.
And then you got Colorado. Colorado winning again.
Deion has doubled the win total from last year.
He's already surpassed what happened last year. That's going to be another interesting one because here in a couple weeks,
it's always a good thing. Always a good thing when Nebraska gets its ass handed to it.
The Duke quarterback played right down the road from me.
Really? Wow.
Yep. So next week they got Colorado State next week. Should they should get that one easy. But then
that's
they got
state rivalry. It's going to be good. Yeah.
Then they got Oregon, and then they have USC. So
Wow. Murderers Row for that bunch, huh?
They win all those, right?
You got the state rivalry and then two guys that want to knock you off. Yeah.
If they get that, they got to be in the top 5 if they win all those games.
I would imagine.
There will be a lot of eyeballs on the Colorado USC game.
No doubt. Yeah. No
Absolutely.
doubt. Especially if they're both undefeated going into it. Wow.
Yeah, and this is a pretty good game by Miami. Texas coming back, but how about Miami? Miami beat Texas A&M.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting.
I caught
game.
some of that one. Yeah.
So no, I watched a good portion of that game. It was pretty good, and then Clemson. This was a funny game because it was tied at 17-17 at one point, and then Clemson just kind of ran away with it. But there's a lot of mistakes by Clemson. I think there was like a pick 6 and just very ugly game early on. I don't know. Clemson have found their
Vanderbilt looked like they were trying to make some noise against Wake Forest, but it fell apart for them in the second half. I did see that.
Yeah, there was a lot of games that got delayed because of weather yesterday. That was a big thing. I think the Virginia Tech game was started at 1 o'clock and ended until after 10 o'clock.
Yeah, there was a 6-hour delay there, I think.
Yeah, it was crazy. Purdue and Virginia Tech. That was oof. Even the Notre Dame game got delayed a little bit, and then the first play that Notre Dame came out and scored an 80-yard touchdown. So that was kind of interesting.
Army, the Black Knights.
one of our founding fathers.
Or the Golden Knights.
Yeah, Army 57-0 over Delaware State.
They're playing Delaware State. Come on, man. Yeah. Do they have a football team? I think they might have played the lacrosse team. Not sure.
Did Joe Flacco? I think he played for Delaware. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, he played for Delaware. I couldn't remember.
Are they the Blue Hens? Because I know that was the mascot of his college team. Blue Hens he was a Blue Hen.
Yep, Delaware. Yep.
So for me, and if you see any that Matt that you think were kind of noticeable, feel free. But for me, the Iowa and Iowa State game, it was a very defensive game. Very defensive game. Unfortunately, is it Iowa that has the coach that needs to get 25 points average? Is it them?
Well, Iowa has Coach Kirk Ferentz, who for years has had his son as his offensive coordinator, and they have underperformed offensively during that period of time. Mm-hmm. It's, in my opinion, it's nepotism. But
so he has conditions this year.
Oh, he does. Okay. Yeah,
they have to get 25 points average, which they haven't done yet. They have to score a certain amount of points in the year, 320 something points total, and then they have to get over 300 yards offense or something like that.
What, the AD put this on them or something, or what? Who set these parameters?
I don't know who makes those rules, but yeah, he's got to perform. His offense has to perform in a certain way. Now, if they go undefeated, winning 20 points a game,
win every game 2-0.
But the defense is really good. So Iowa's an interesting team. I'm just paying attention to this season.
I think they have the longest tenured head coach. I think Ferentz has been there since 99. I think he's the longest tenured in the country. I did want to mention with the Pac-12 real quick. So I looked up their record, and they're 21-4. And the reason why it's an odd number game is USC was their third week playing. USC played the week 0.
Yeah, some teams have played 3 games, and some have played 2.
Of their 4 losses, one of them was Stanford losing to USC. So it's hard to you can't really even count that one. Mm-hmm. So they've lost 3 games out of conference. Arizona lost in overtime last night while playing at Mississippi State. Cal lost a close game to Auburn, and Arizona State lost, a fairly close game, a competitive game to Oklahoma State. So their 3 out of conference losses were all, winnable games for them.
They weren't cupcakes.
They were Power 5 schools, and they were in the game in the fourth quarter.
Wow. Pac-12 trying to hang on by their fingernails.
Best season ever is the last season ever. Yeah.
Right? Best season ever is going to be their last season ever. Wow.
I know Northern Illinois is not one of the highlights of the FBS, but I think it's always fun to see an FCS team beat an FBS team. So Southern Illinois beating Northern Illinois is kind of
the Salukis. And I only know they're the Salukis because of college basketball, but Southern Illinois.
Let's see here. Just going down the list.
Yeah, just highlight what you think is relevant.
Pittsburgh and Cincinnati was a pretty good game. Pittsburgh almost came back and and pulled away. They just couldn't on offense in the fourth quarter get down. But they were down, I think, 27-7 at one point, and then just kind of 24-7, something like that. And it fought back, but they just couldn't pull it off. So Cincinnati's 2-0, Pittsburgh's 1-1. So that was a fun game to watch.
That should be a conference game. Those two teams just feel like they should be in the same conference.
Mm-hmm. Then my Boise State Broncos lost on a game-winning field goal, 18-16 to UCF. Unfortunate. We scored too fast and we gave them too much time. So they went down, and all they needed was – we were only up by 1 point, so all they needed was a field goal, and they easily got it. So that was unfortunate. Rice beating Houston. I don't know much about Rice, but I thought that was maybe an upset. Matt, would you say
that's an upset?
Okay. Yeah, and that was an overtime, so that was pretty interesting.
Rice beat Houston? Yeah, that's an upset. Rice sucks. They're not the biggest. I don't mean to say that. They don't suck. They are undermanned compared to Houston. But they had no business winning that game. Yeah.
Then we had Tua beating Charlotte, Maryland.
Tua? Yeah. It's not Tua.
Tua's little brother, I meant to say.
Yeah. It's a Tagovailoa, no doubt. But I can't pronounce this kid's name.
And it starts with a T, but
it starts with a T. It's got too many syllables.
Toyota? I don't know.
Toyota.
There's the Mississippi State over Arizona. Mississippi State over Arizona. That was a really good game. I was watching that one too. And then let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Some of these late games, I didn't really watch too much of them. We hit the pretty big ones.
Where's LA Tech in there? Did you see? Did we get that? I saw.
Go back down. They were on the left.
Right there.
Yep. Oh, sorry, they were on the right. I was thinking a different team.
Louisiana Tech. Okay. Yay! Love my Bulldogs. When I was in high school, we were all in Air Force ROTC, and that's where they train the pilots is at LA Tech. And we all wanted to go there and become pilots, man.
So Louisiana Tech had Terry Bradshaw and Phil Robertson at the same time.
Yes, sir. Yes, they did. Yep. We've got he's from Shreveport, and I can't remember the high school he went to, but we have a road called 3132. It's the Terry Bradshaw Passway that goes around half the city. Yeah. Yeah. He's a big deal around here.
So I guess Tim Brando's a big deal around there too.
Yes, he is. Yeah. You see a lot of Tim Brando shit around here. Yep.
He's a blowhard.
Yep, he is big time. All right, well, thanks for that, Knock. I'm watching a little more college football. You guys be proud of me. I've got the games on. I'm not really paying attention half the time, but we had a show this weekend, a craft show, so I was busy, peddling my wares, but. When we came home, I did put on the LSU Grambling game on Hulu, and that was, Grambling had a really good first drive, went right down the field on them, but after that, the depth chart was out of hand. It was pretty bad. I don't think LSU punted in the game, and they started Nussmeier in the second half. Daniels had like 269 yards passing and 5 touchdowns in the first half. So they pulled him for the second half. So
Nussmeier's dad's been a coach for quite a while, and he at one point was, I think he was maybe Jim Everett's backup with the Saints.
Yeah,
back in the 90s.
He hit a big pass down the middle of the field, but the way they scored, it looked like the Philadelphia Eagles. It was a 4th and goal from like inches, and they just muscled up and that glacier move. You know what I mean?
Yeah. By the way, don't ever call Jim Everett Chris Everett. I'm just
telling you. That's a fact. Don't do that.
Don't
do that. Have you ever seen that video, man? I might have to look that up and show it to you here in a minute. Oh, it's classic, dude. Jim Rome found out. He fucked around and found out, man.
Yes, he did.
Jim
maybe one of the original effed up.
Right.
F around and found out. Yeah.
One of the original F around and find out. I'll look that video up here in a minute. But for right now, we got to start the discussion on opening night. The stunner. Detroit goes into Kansas City when they're hanging the banner and getting their rings.
Yeah.
And they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Or did the Kansas City Chiefs beat themselves? Or was it the missing pieces that cost them?
I got to tell you,
discussion.
if I got to tell you, I think I would have considered switching my pick if I had known Kelsey was not going to be in the game.
Really? You didn't know that?
Absolutely.
Well, we didn't know.
Nobody knew it.
Last week
Nobody
we
did
did
it.
not know.
No, we didn't
That's
know.
right.
No,
It happened Tuesday in practice. I think he hyperextended.
It wasn't until that day that they announced it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew he was banged
well, it was
up.
the day before they announced. They announced it the
Yeah.
day before, but it happened Tuesday in
Okay.
practice. He hyperextended his knee,
Yeah.
and they're pretty sure nothing's torn, but they're just sitting him out to, take it easy.
But without him, like I had no, these wide receivers are no names to me. I mean, I know who they are, but like they're
Tony.
nothing crazy.
If you ask me, Tony cost him the game. He dropped everything that was thrown at him, and he was responsible for the pick six.
Some of his drops were not easy catches.
Yeah.
Some of them were thrown low or behind him, so you can't put it all on him.
Yeah. Well,
Well, you can when it goes through his hands. And
the pick six, that's on him, man. He had both hands on that ball, and it went right through there. Went right through it. Yeah.
He ended up having. I don't know that he had any catches.
I don't know that.
Or if
I think they did like a PFF or something like that. And he had like -2 points.
My brother says no tide. Big win for the Donghorns, he says. Yes. And he also says, what's the name of the guy? What guy? I don't know.
Need more context there.
I don't know. Yeah, we need to know who you're talking about, Dan. But anyway,
guy with the thing, with the stuff and
the middle thing. Guy. What was the middle thing, Dan? Yeah. But
I think missing Chris Jones was almost as big of an impact as missing Travis.
I don't know. That team only gave up 14 points.
Yeah.
You take away the pick six, they only gave up 14 points, brother. But I think Kelsey not being there, like Knox said, I think that was the bigger blow.
But
I really do, because Spagnuolo called a great game.
Gibbs and Montgomery, they eked out some first downs that maybe Chris Jones would have impacted. By the way, I think that's a pretty good duo there. The Ricky Gibbs with bringing in David Montgomery. That could be a formidable duo. And
Dan, he's talking about Juju Smith-Schuster. He was only with them for a year, though. I mean,
who left for the Patriots, the wide receiver?
Yeah, he's talking about Juju
Smith-Schuster. Yeah,
yeah, he's talking about Juju.
I don't think he would have made a difference in the game. I don't think he would have.
I think that. Probably not as big. Definitely not as big as Kelsey.
No.
I think he would have helped, but I don't know. But I mean, when you have a coach that has the cojones to go for it on a fake punt on his own.
That I wouldn't. Dude, that was.
Woo.
He must have really felt good about that fake punt, because I wouldn't have done that in my own territory.
Oh, I know. I immediately thought it was like, I wonder what Joe thinks of this play.
Yeah.
I was like, this would never happen.
I was on a stream with my brother, and I didn't see it happen. I heard about it after the fact. Yeah. How far did they have to go? A yard?
I think it was like 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah. Really?
I think it was a couple yards.
Yeah, I
definitely a couple yards. It wasn't just 1 yard.
You know me, the old fucking grimace. I wouldn't have never done that, man.
He also went for it on 4th down in the 4th quarter with the lead.
Both of them did. I didn't understand that. Both of those teams had 3 timeouts, and they both went for it on 4th and long early. I don't understand that. I really don't. They obviously didn't trust. Neither one of them trusted their defenses.
Yeah, I think both of them were just like.
I think that Reed was worried about them getting the ball back, because at that point in the game, that not enough can be said about the Lions' front line. Now, they were wearing those guys down, and the runs were getting longer and longer as the night progressed. So I can kind of understand Reed doing it, but I didn't understand Dan Campbell doing it. That was way too early, I thought. Let's see.
The Chiefs' offensive line got worked.
Yeah.
I mean, that left tackle. And they're not the only team that has gotten away with it in recent times, but that especially the Chiefs' left tackle throughout the game was not only was he not on the line technically, he may have had a toenail on the line, but he was also rocking back before the snap.
I mean, right at or before the snap, and they didn't call it until like the 4th quarter. Yeah.
But again, way back. In fairness to the refs, they've been calling that for a while now, not just with the Chiefs. And to put my conspiracy theory hat on, I think the league is trying to protect quarterbacks, and if that means giving that left tackle an eighth of a second extra,
right.
then they're going to do it.
Yeah. Danny's saying that Schuster would have been a good option. He had a good run with the Chiefs last year, and he talking about the going for it on fourth down stuff and the fake punt. He's talking analytics. Well, we know how well analytics is serving that coach out there in Los Angeles, coaches the Chargers. But I digress. What's he saying? Games are always won and lost at the line of scrimmage. Yes, no doubt. And that Lions front line on the offensive side, they were wearing them boys down during the night. Those runs got longer and longer. And what's really impressive about the Lions running game is they don't just run one or two different plays. They run several different. They run counters. They run straight up the gut dives. That defensive line does not know what's coming at them on every snap. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, the Packers, for instance, when they were winning championships, it was the Packers sweep. You knew it was coming. You just had to hope that you could stop it, and the reason why they did it was they were so good at it. But the Lions, you saw pulling tackles and centers and then sometimes it's pulling guards and sometimes it's dives. I mean, yeah, it's really impressive what Dan Campbell's doing there. It's a lot of fun. I'm not saying they're going to win the North or go to the Super Bowl, but they're definitely on the right track. They've got people scratching their heads a little bit when it comes to the running game, no doubt about it. Now, the other thing about the Lions offense, I got to say, and I'm a hater of this guy, Ryan Gosling. What's his name? Goff. Yeah. When he played for LA, I kind of knew he was never going to win a Super Bowl there because his pocket presence was not good. He would drift back into the rush a lot of the times and stuff like that. Yeah. He's been coached up. He is getting a lot better.
They got there with him, but they didn't win it. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Danny says, are you guys coming out of the chute giving Super Bowl picks this morning? Yes, we are. We're going to do that after we go over the picks today, Dan. Absolutely. We're going to do that this morning. But to put a bow on this, I think it's a little bit of both, but it's very impressive that the Lions went in there and won. I mean, they ended their run last year by keeping the Packers out of the playoffs, and then they ruined the banner party for the world champs to open the season. They're definitely on the right track. You better not sleep on the Lions. Well, that's for sure. And the Chiefs, have a little bit stacked against them in terms of whenever you're winning like you are, your players are going to demand more money, and you're going to have to give up some of your better players for salary reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if you look at their receivers, Valdez-Scantling and Tony.
Scantling looked good in that game. He made some catches, man. He really did. I know. I was sitting there thinking Dallas would be impressed with this. He'd be kicking himself for not having that guy. You know what I mean?
But I would never put Tony and Valdez-Scantling as like super elite.
No, not at all. They're supporting cast, no doubt. Kelsey's the show, and he wasn't there. So yeah, they were at a detriment, no doubt. But I don't know. I think their losses, if they'd have had Chris Jones and if they'd have had Kelsey, it would have been a little bit different game, but they just still got to fight. There's no doubt that's a scrapping football team from Detroit right now.
One thing I have an issue with is, and I didn't hear this part because I always mute the broadcast when I'm watching the game.
Yeah.
I always got something else going on in the background. But apparently at the end of the game, Mike Tirico said this win had an asterisk.
He did.
I have a huge problem with that. If you win an NFL game, you win an NFL game.
You win an NFL game. Yeah, that's horse shit. Yeah. You play with who you got. That's just all there is to it. There's no excuses. There's no excuses.
The Lions had a couple guys banged up too.
Everybody plays hurt. It's just that's pro football, man. Tell that to the San Francisco 49ers who went through 3 quarterbacks last year. That those losses or whatever should have asterisks.
Yeah, tell that to the Seattle Seahawks against the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Super Bowl. Yeah, tell it to them too.
Yeah, tell it to them. Yeah. Don't bring that up on this broadcast, sir. Don't make me do that. I'm going to forget you said that. My brother was sitting next to me during that game, and he was madder than I was watching that shit. They straight up stole that game from us. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so, look, we've said it before, and it's true. whenever you're playing a well-established organization, you got to get them early. I mean, if you watch the Brady Patriots, their losses during the season was in the first month. That's when they lost games. Down the stretch, they didn't lose. You know what I mean? This is when you get the big programs.
Worst case scenario, right? If they're like, we just don't believe in our wide receivers, they can still go get one.
Right? There's plenty of them that they can,
there's still plenty of time to go grab somebody.
And the best thing about it for the Chiefs, and for the Chiefs mostly, it's a non-conference game. So it's not going to count against, their total for the conference. So that's a good thing for them. And they're going to, trust me, they're going to get back on the horse. And I wouldn't want to play them next week. No doubt about it. I wouldn't want to play them next week. So anyway, all right. Speaking of the weeks.
The Jaguars. Okay.
They're playing the Jaguars next week? Ooh. Another young and upstart. Speaking of that, that's who's on my graphic to talk about this week's slate of games. And we're going to go through them real fast because we already made our picks. I'm just going to double check them and make sure you guys, you might want to change something after the news you've heard this week. But let me bring up my graphic for that real quick, and we'll do that real fast. The first one we have, let me go ahead and pump this up a little bit. First one we have is the Carolina Panthers against the Atlanta Falcons. Who do we like in this one, gentlemen? Last week everybody picked Atlanta. Does anybody see anything to change your pick off of the Panthers this week?
No.
Not so far.
Okay, cool. Then let's take a look at the next one. Hang on. I've got to do my control thing real quick so I can get the upper thing up here. Okay, the next one we got is Houston at Baltimore. And I think, let's see, we've all got Baltimore this week. Now, this is Bryce Young is starting for the Texans out the gate, isn't he?
Yep.
Am I correct about that? Yeah, I think he takes his lumps today up there in Baltimore. Everybody else has got Baltimore, so nothing you see is going to change that, huh?
You mean Stroud?
Sir?
I missed what you said before. You talking about Young being in this game?
Yeah. Isn't it Bryce Young?
Bryce Young is that's Panthers.
That's Panthers. Okay. Who's the young guy they got for the Texans? Stroud. Okay. Yeah.
You confused me there for a second. I wasn't paying attention that I heard you say Young. I was like, wait a second.
Stroud gets to take his lumps today. Yeah.
No, Young is the Panthers, so he'll go against Falcons.
No, he's definitely going to take it. And then we've got, now is Joe Burrow playing against Cleveland?
Yeah, he is.
He is playing? Okay. I'm the only guy that took Cleveland, and it's just because he's a little bit dinged up. And like I said, you got to get these guys early. So, and they're playing in Cleveland. Everybody else has got Cincinnati. Yes?
Yep.
Okay. All right. And then we've got, let's see, why does that list keep disappearing? It shouldn't be disappearing. Reset. Why is the list disappearing on me? That's weird. That list keeps disappearing. Okay, hell with it. We can get rid of the graphic. We don't need it. Jacksonville at Indianapolis is the next one, and we've all got Jacksonville.
Yeah, a lot of rookies getting first starts.
Anthony Richardson's getting his first start out of Florida today for the Colts.
I think there's a chance at least one of these guys are going to win. You get a chance in the NFL, but
right,
there's three right there that we've already to get. So who knows? Yeah. One of them might surprise you.
Right. Okay, hang on. I'm okay. Here we go. This graphic will work a lot better. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to get my ducks in a row here. You know, I was running late today, so here we go. That'll work really fine. All right. Yeah, I think Jacksonville is one of those teams you got to watch out for. They're getting better. They're young. They're one of the youngest teams in the league. So, yeah, they're going to do nothing but get better. We got Tampa Bay going into Minnesota. Baker Mayfield going into the school. Oh
I
man,
can't
my
help but
boy's in
root
trouble.
for him. And
Me too.
But
You know, I'm rooting for him. I love him. But
I just got to go by the cardinal rule of the Kirk Cousins
the
rule.
Kirk Cousins rule. If the whole world is not watching, it's a local game at noon on Sunday. He's going to throw for 5 touchdowns, no doubt about it. Yeah,
Kirk Cousins was in some commercial where he was in like it almost looked like some sort of like BDSM gear. I don't know what's going on, but it was like
Matt, look at my brother. He can't even get off of it when I'm on another show. Dead air. Yeah,
it keeps you in check.
Speaking of my brother, it's the New Orleans Saints.
This is going to be an interesting game.
Hosting the Titans.
We're going to learn a lot about both teams in this game.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now, Knock is the guy that has decided to take Tennessee. Now, John took Tennessee, but changed it to New Orleans this morning for some reason. I don't know why.
He's reeling. That's why.
Is that what it is?
The guy that's suspiciously not here is
he's reeling for the punches.
Yeah, so he didn't want to have to defend that those wide receivers, so that's why he's not here.
Trust me, I was texting him during the game. He did not like the fact that they were throwing it to Tony so much.
Tony.
Daniel says we're going to learn how bad the New Orleans Saints really are. Oh man,
let's see. Derek Carr's not a bad quarterback, so if he can, and if Mike
I don't
Thomas
know. I
can
got them winning, Dan. I think they're going to win at home, but hey, I just think look, I can't. I think Tennessee is going to be just like the Ravens. They're going to do well in the regular season, but then they got to play playoff games against real defenses. And Ryan Tannehill is a human jugs machine against a real defense. I'm sorry, he just is, and I don't see anything changing.
Yeah,
that, man.
You don't stack the box, and then that's
it, man. I don't see it.
Now, is Hopkins going to help that? I mean, we'll see.
And I just think New Orleans defense is underrated. So hey. If they've got some decent offense, which I think that they upgraded at friggin' quarterback, so I really think they're going to do better this year. But
by the way, I looked at Jimmy Buffett's Twitter account this week, and one of the last things he didn't post on there very often, but one of the last things he had was from last year, him and Jameis standing side by side at a Saints practice.
No kidding, him and Jameis Winston.
Yep.
Yeah, Jimmy Buffett loved New Orleans, no doubt about it, man.
Yep. He got his. That's where he kind of made his bones as far as playing on Bourbon Street.
Yep.
That's where he got. That's where he got his start.
Rip, Mr. Buffett. All the parrot heads were sad this week when he passed away. No doubt about it.
One thing I wanted to mention was Jonathan Taylor. I think is maybe out till like week 5 for the Colts.
I've seen that too. My fantasy team is so screwed right now.
Is he sitting or is he?
No, he's on injury. He's on PUP right now. He's on.
Danny gives this guy no slack. Dennis Allen is the worst head coach ever. Wow,
he's not great. By the way, not for fantasy purposes. You may want to pick up Deion. Deion Jackson for Indianapolis with Taylor being out if he's available.
I went with the other guy. I went with Hull.
With Hull,
he's like Evan Hull. Yeah. So that's the guy I'm hoping is the one that actually gets to step up. So yeah.
Do we need to add a fantasy report to the show? Do we need to add?
I don't know about that. It's just right now, I got really screwed in my draft. Well, I screwed myself, I should say. And right now, I have 3 running back. Well, 4 because I picked up Hole to handcuff with Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
But I have who's my third? Najee Harris is my first.
Okay.
And then I have Jonathan Taylor and Alvin Kamara.
Did you start Kamara today?
I can't because Kamara's suspended for the first 3 games.
Is he?
So
you're stuck with Najee Harris up against San Francisco's defense today. Wow, you're screwed.
I got Najee Harris, and then I have the backup Hole as my 2 running backs, and then I have just like wide receivers. So I have great wide receivers, but and then
that sucks.
It's going to be a painful first couple. If I can make it through that. If I can make it through that, and if I can get Jonathan Taylor back on the field, I can make a good run and maybe squeak in the wild card.
But he's gone for
so
5
we'll
games. Wow.
I think 4.
Yeah.
4. Oh God. Okay. Speaking
So
of
it's
Pittsburgh,
it's tough.
that's
someone
the
tried
next
to trade me. I think someone tried to trade me Alvin Kamara for Devin Singletary, and I was like,
no.
By the way,
long term,
one other thing with fantasy, I missed my draft because I was sick, and they drafted for me. And according to ESPN, I'm projected to finish first in the league. So they did me right.
My third draft, I missed it on Sunday, last Sunday or Sunday before, and it got auto picked. But it's one league I don't really care about. So I got a bunch of good running backs. I got McCaffrey.
See, those will be the ones. See, those will be the ones you win. Those will be the ones you win.
Yeah.
Right?
Not the ones I actually tried it.
Okay, next up we got the San Francisco 49ers at the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I believe, let's see, Knock is the only one that picked Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and my reason, and you could go back to last week and see what my reasoning was, but basically it was just super biased. I was just super impressed during the preseason. That was the biggest thing.
That duo did well. They did. Pickens, is that it?
Pickens.
Wow.
Yep.
You got TJ Watt on the other side of the defense. I think the defense is underrated. So I don't know. We'll see. I
love their head coach. As much as I hate Pittsburgh, I love their head coach, and he is a defensive guy, so he's going to have them flying around, no doubt. But I don't know. 49ers, I can't see it. Let's see. My QB1 today, A-Rod. Oh, my God. That's tomorrow, buddy. That's tomorrow. A-Rod's playing tomorrow night against the Bills in primetime, bro. Boo. Whoa. But that's a good quarterback.
I'll actually get to stay up and watch that game. I'll actually be able to stay up and see some of your
my wife has something going on. She has a meeting for work and a dinner. So I think I'm actually going to go to your favorite place, Buffalo Wild Wings, and go watch that game because I don't have ESPN.
Wait, so we're not doing Kotar tomorrow night?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. We got to do Kotar tomorrow night. So I might go for the second half. I might go for the second half.
By the way, I went to a walk-ons for the first time yesterday, and it was good.
Was it? Yeah, really? You'd never been to Drew Brees' sports bar?
Nope. We got one here in town, and I had just not gone. So
now let me ask you this real quick, and we won't be on this very long. What kind of memorabilia was on the walls? Was it Louisiana stuff, or was it?
It was. They had some murals of like some people that were from Mobile.
Okay.
I didn't look too close. Like they had a DeMarcus Cousins,
Dude, there's nothing but that's why I was asking, because the walls in there are really cool. If you've never been to walk-ons, it sounds like it's regionally based, because here it's Terry Bradshaw when he was at LA Tech. It's Carl Malone. It's all guys from Louisiana. You know what I mean?
I'm sure
Archie Manning's on the wall
here.
Yeah, it's a bunch of stuff.
But now the menu did say like Louisiana favorites on it, so the menu's probably the same everywhere.
Right. Yeah. Daniel says Pittsburgh all the way. Yeah. Okay. You go, man. You go. Let's see. The next one is gonna be. Oh wow, Arizona at the Washington Commandos. That's right.
You know
we
what?
Don't use
tomorrow morning. Normally I haven't listened to the radio much lately.
Yeah.
But normally when I do watch, I'll have the sports radio on, and of course I'm in Northern Virginia, so it's always the DC sports.
Yeah.
If they find a way to lose this game, I'm not going into work tomorrow because I'm off this whole week. But I'm gonna go to the fan app or whatever,
right?
The radio, and I'm gonna listen to the morning show, and I want to hear what they say about the
excuses they give for losing to the lowly Arizona Cardinals.
This is a bad team. Like Arizona is a bad team.
They're the worst team in the league.
They picked up a quarterback, Josh Dobbs, a couple weeks ago, and they're starting him.
Yeah, I know.
This team has no business winning this game. So, obviously still sticking with the Commanders on this.
And we all picked the Commanders. Yeah.
If there's a money line out there and you bet $1 for Arizona, you probably make probably a couple $.
Shit.
But the Cardinals
I don't do
looking
odds
at like
on this show, so
they're probably looking at like a 4-13 record this year.
Yeah, it's going to be horrible. Danny says walk-ons, yummy. Of course, he's a fan of Drew Brees' stuff. You know that. Okay, so the next one is going to be the oldest rivalry in football. The Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. And believe it or not, this is a game I wish they'd show on national television. I want to see this game. I want to see this game and see if, number one, the guy you were caping for all last year gets any better, if he can actually throw a football, Mr. Fields. And I want to see Jordan Love and how that Packers offense is going to look.
That's the story, right? Both these teams are going to be, made a break and broke by their QB.
And this game is going to say a lot about it, because these two teams hate each other. They're not going to. I would imagine there's going to be a fight in this game at some point. You know what I mean?
This the most played game in NFL history.
Yeah, it's the oldest rivalry in the NFL. That they've played over 100 times against each other. It's ridiculous. It's by far the longest one, because they're two original franchises. You know what I mean? Actually, I think Chicago had two teams at one point. They had the Cardinals and the Bears. So, yeah, it's the oldest one in football. But I have been hearing all about Jordan Love's preseason and how he looked dynamite.
I don't know about dynamite, but he definitely didn't look that bad. He looked pretty good at times. So,
yeah. It just depends. And we know they can run the ball, because Aaron Jones is a good running back. So we'll see what happens, man.
I can't remember. That was the one game I couldn't remember who I picked.
We split. You took Chicago.
Okay.
Knox took Chicago, and John and I took the Green Bay Packers. So
that's the game I feel the least confident about.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, this is a coin flip game, if you ask me.
Yeah.
It really is. Because if Fields plays the way he did last year, Green Bay should win easily. All they have to do is keep him in the pocket. You know what I mean? Which is hard to do, because he's really good on his feet. So that's one thing he proved he could do last year, is run.
I'm really eager to see how much DJ Moore does for this team.
Right, a decent wide receiver, because he didn't have that last year. He didn't have a target. I mean, who was their best receiver last year, Knock? I don't even remember their receiving core from last year.
Man, I can't remember his name. He's actually a pretty decent wide receiver, but
you're talking about for the Packers?
Yeah, no, for Chicago.
Was it Moore? I think it was a Moore.
I don't know.
I think that's right. I think it was.
I do not know, but that is the next one. And like I said, we're split on that one. Danny says Bears. That's who he says. He says Bears. And he's
the
on
Bears
the field.
need to get their stadium situation figured out too. Long term.
They do. Soldier Field had several friggin' renovations, but they really need a new stadium.
The Commanders are putting $40 million into theirs. How about that?
Well, they have a new owner. Hey. Yeah. What you know? The Commanders fans have got to be ecstatic, no matter what their record is, because Daniel Snyder's not affiliated with their.
I tell you what, going to that stadium, it was a lot better than I expected.
Yeah,
it'd be my first time ever.
If you guys didn't see last week, he went to a concert there last Saturday.
Yeah, and it was interesting because when I got so we were on the third level, and when we stepped inside, it's really nice in there.
Yeah.
And then you go in the bathroom, and they got like the flimsiest fucking stalls.
Really?
That are just like it is ridiculous.
Look like they're going to come off the wall.
It looks like you can just like punch through them, and like it'll like styrofoam. Like they didn't lock properly, and it was just like the bathroom situation was kind of weird. And then, but the actual area where you chill out, it was actually really nice in there. So I mean, there was good things, and there were some other things that it's like, okay, I see what they're saying. And then then you had that whole railing incident where they. Eagles damn near lost their quarterback to the crowd
because it collapsed and all that shit. It was
like, geez. And then they took a picture of it the next it was like duct tape together or some shit.
Right.
So.
Okay, so next
Daniel
game
Snyder was too busy, looking at cheerleaders, evaluating them. Than he was
evaluating the cheerleaders. Yeah. Then worried about his stadium and his fans and their comfort. Yeah, no doubt. Okay, so the next one is Knox's beloved Denver Broncos hosting the fucking hated Oakland Raiders. Or not Oakland, Las Vegas Raiders. Danny, out the gate, says Broncos. Because Sean Payton, right? Sean Payton, Broncos. There it is. Boom. I believe that, and so does everybody else in this panel. At least last week they did. And anybody see anything that's going to change your mind?
I mean, the biggest thing I'm worried about is just our wide receiver core. It's just it's been decimated.
Has it?
Jerry
still
Jeudy
got Jerry
out.
Jeudy though, right?
No, he's out. He's out. Jerry Judy's out.
Damn it.
Tim Patrick's gone for the season. KJ Hamler's out for a couple weeks at least with a heart issue. And then we have Cortland Sutton, and we have Mims Jr. looked really good in the preseason, but he's a rookie. You know, we did pick up Philip Dorsett. He's been with the Patriots a while and just kind of moved around. But I don't know how much of a difference he's going to make. So we got a lot of young guys there. So we're going to be relying on Samaje Perine and Javonte Williams a lot.
I was going to say, you may see Sean Payton pull out the old Saints playbook, because anybody that watched the Saints when he was coaching there, it was the screen game. It was the running game. I mean, the wide receivers caught balls, but it was after they stretched them out sideline to sideline. A lot of tight end play, I could see that a lot. How's your tight end these days?
I mean, I have no clue. I hardly know any of them. We had Greg DeLucci, who looked pretty good last season. I mean, we let go Alberto, who looked great in the preseason. I still don't understand how there's 4 tight ends better than him. But he's also not a blocking tight end. Yeah. So you got to be a blocking tight end in this league, unless you're. Well,
I think the thing you're not going to have to worry about is Russell Wilson's play. I think I think I heard he lost like 20 pounds in the off season. And he's slimmer and he's more fired up and ready to go. And Sean Payton knows how to use every player on his team. There's no doubt about that. The Saints team from year to year morphed into a different kind of offense depending on who they had. He definitely coaches to his talent. So that the play calling shouldn't be a problem. It may come down to just, the hands of the guys you got at wide receiver, maybe. But I can tell you this: your defense is good, and Garoppolo will give you the football. I can tell you that right now. I'm looking for at least 2 picks.
Surtain on Devontae Adams is going to be huge.
Yep.
And then really got a Waller's not there anymore. Waller at tight end. I don't think he's with Las Vegas anymore. Right?
Don't know. Let's see. The battery light is blinking on the Dolphins QB. Danny is putting in comments for the next game. Yeah. I think Garoppolo is going to win you this football game.
Austin Hooper, not a bad tight end, but it's not Waller. Okay. Waller was an absolute monster. He wrecked our team all the time. I think he went to the Giants, maybe.
Yeah.
So that helps us a lot.
You guys have to concentrate on stopping Josh Jacobs. Stop that guy.
That's it. Yeah.
And you will win the game because Garoppolo will give it to you.
Waller is with the Giants.
Yeah. Okay. I thought he was gone.
All right. Let's see. Moving on. The next game. It's the Miami Dolphins at the Los Angeles Chargers. Let's see. On our panel, everybody. Well, actually, this is one of the ones that John changed. And we have the world's biggest Dolphins fan in the house representing Miami. Yes, there it is. She is in the house. Yes. And she's actually cooking up some great border fare for a company which is coming soon. Anyway, John changed his pick. All of you guys picked the Chargers, and he changed it to Miami this week. And I picked Miami because I think that as long as Tua Tagovailoa is playing, they win. So, but as Danny mentioned, the battery light is blinking on the Dolphins quarterback. And that's the problem with this team. Can they keep him standing upright for 20 games in a row? And I just don't know that they can do that.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about with his wide receivers that he has is like he doesn't need to stay in a spot for very long to get the ball to them. Like he could throw a short pass and they'll just take it.
And they'll make it happen in space. Yeah. His wide receivers are great. Yeah.
Just get the ball out. Get the ball
out.
That's it. Don't think about it too much. Get the ball out. You've had time to progress as a quarterback to get to the point where you don't have to think as much.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it.
Hey, the guy's phenomenal. He plays well. It's just sometimes you're right. He does hang on to the ball too long.
And then,
And
yeah,
that's
and
what
we just
gets
that
him
he gets
hurt.
hit, and then when
Yeah.
he gets hit, he's out. Like that's it.
Yeah, he's
It's-
a man of glass, no doubt about it. But I love Herbert. And let me go ahead and do this real quick. Okay. Let me go ahead and get this out of the way now. How that guy in Los Angeles has a job as a head coach is beyond me. He costs his teams games all the damn time. Once again, the Chargers have a great quarterback. A great quarterback. Herbert is fantastic. And you're going to waste that going forward on fourth down almost every time. It's your job as a head coach to put your guys in position to win ball games, and that guy fails at it all the damn time. Danny says too many concussions already. Yeah, no doubt. And offense to watch Tampa Bay. Off to watch Tampa Bay. Okay, Dan, thanks for watching, man. Love you. Talk to you later on today. Yeah, me and Danny have entire conversations during games with nothing but GIFs or GIFs, whatever you call them, GIFs. That's all we do is,
you're such a boomer.
Yeah, I am a boomer.
So good.
Off. But anyway,
that's why you don't understand analytics.
Yeah, right. I don't understand analytics. That's right. I don't. And apparently the league doesn't either because that guy's not going anywhere. He's not.
I mean, Joe's analytics say if it's 4th and 5 and you're on the 50 and it's the second quarter, you punt it.
Yes, that's exactly what you do. You put your team in a position to succeed. You bury them inside the 5. That's what you do. Yep. How hard is that? Look, the way I look at it, football's a simple game. Just do your job.
Don't beat yourself.
Don't beat yourself. That's all you got to do. But yeah, I think Miami's going to win simply because Tua Tagovailoa is going to come down the tunnel for the Miami Dolphins. And he's going to get it to those great wide receivers, and they're going to blow this team out. I just think that. I really do. And Miami's defense is decent. They're not slouches. They're pretty good, so. Anyway, you guys, you're sticking with the Chargers. Tell me why you think the Chargers are going to win this game.
I think the Chargers defense is no slouch either. They have some.
There is a Bosa on that front line, no doubt. Yeah.
Derwin James and just they got some crazy good players. And then on the offense, it still saddens me that Quentin Johnson went to the Chargers because coming out of TCU, he's one of my favorite players coming in that draft.
Yeah.
So he's just got weapon galore. Keenan Allen, just
it's a high-powered offense, no doubt.
I think both teams are pretty equal, so just give them the edge to the home team.
Home team, yeah, okay. All right, so next we got. Oh wow, it's not looking good for my father's beloved New England Patriots. Oh my God, they're hosting the NFC champs today. I really think, along with the rest of the panel, according to my sheet here, that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to come out and show people that they're kind of miffed that they lost the Super Bowl last year, and probably hang 50 on the New England Patriots right there in their own house.
I just don't think Mac Jones can get New England deep into the playoffs.
No,
just don't see it.
I don't see it either. I mean, he's okay, but he's a little emotional for my taste. I can understand being emotional like that if you are a guy that throws for 400 yards every week. I could see you getting that way. Yeah. But
if you're Ryan Tannehill, you need to not be emotional. Yeah,
you need to keep a level head and just do your job.
That's Dilfer, though.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Could he be a Trent Dilfer?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. What do you need to be a Trent Dilfer? You need a run game and
you need a run game and you need a killer defense, no doubt. You need a killer defense. That's how you want to Super Bowl.
Bill Belichick really known for is for his defense. So
yeah.
I think the Patriots finished last in their division.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
No, well, it happened now. I don't think Mac Jones.
I'm not confident.
Yeah, New England looks poised.
They're going to win some games. They'll be in the playoff race, but no threat.
What's gonna crack me up is when they beat the Jets. That's what's gonna really crack me up, because they're gonna win one of those games, if not both of them, because they could go 2-15, and both of those wins are going to be against the New York Jets. You know what I'm saying? He hates that fucking franchise. I don't know what it is, but he can't stand them people. I think it's from when Mangino went there. Or excuse me, Mangini. Yeah, that's his name.
Eric
I call him
Mangini?
Mangina. But I think it's when he went there, because he's the one that got him busted over the Super Bowl film with the Rams, I think. And so, Belichick goes out of his way to beat the Jets.
I just remembered this. The offensive coordinator for the Chiefs is Nagy.
Yeah, Matt Nagy. Yeah,
Matt Nagy. Nagy. And I was like, wait, his time in Chicago. Like he was not a good coach for them in Chicago. Like that offense. Well,
we've talked about it several times, man. Some guys are coordinators and some guys are head coaches. And Matt Nagy's he's an offensive coordinator. He's not a friggin' head coach. He did not do well there at all. So, yeah.
His offense wasn't that good.
You mentioned Belichick not liking the Jets. By the way, you're talking about former New York Jets head coach Bill Belichick. Now, it was like 5 minutes, but
for about 5 minutes, actually, no, he never took the job. He was named that by Bill
Parcells.
Bill Parcells when he left, and then I think it was that next day he said, "No, I'm retiring. I'm not. No, thank you. I don't want this job." He didn't want to leave New England. He did not want to leave New England.
Yeah,
he loved it there, so he got back there as quick as he could, man. But yeah, it doesn't look good for them today. No, it doesn't. So, moving on, we have. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. This is almost as bad. No, it's not. This is the worst game we could have pulled. The only way we could have pulled something worse is if we were playing the Eagles opening day.
Or the Niners. Yeah.
No. I would feel better opening against the Niners. I really would, than playing this fucking team right here, because they have our number, man. They do.
I'll tell you what they don't have is they don't have Cooper Kupp. So
no. What happened to Cooper Kupp?
He's out.
What is this all over my
you got
feed,
a spammer
man?
guy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this is the watch free television here, kind of.
Let's
crap.
See. There we go. Boom. He's taken care of. Bye-bye now. But anyway, the Rams have our number. Have had our number ever since we got in this division, man. And I hope we kick their ass. I really do. Gino, he did well last year. A lot of people are saying don't sleep on us, kind of thing. And I hate to hear that kind of talk. Show me, let's. I want to see us run the ball. We've got a really good run back in Walker, and I want to see him just tear some shit up. I really do. And, let's see how it goes. You know what I mean? But I picked him, and so did everybody else, but I'm not that confident. I really am not. Because the Los Angeles Rams were injured last year. I mean, they had more injuries than any team in the NFL coming off of the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And they're not anymore, except for Kupp. Why is Kupp not there?
He got hurt.
I'm not sure
didn't
what
look
the
too much
injury
into
is.
his injury, but I just know he's out.
I think he's out for at least 4 weeks.
Really? Well, that bodes well for us, no doubt, because that guy's a difference maker, just like Kelsey is at the tight end position. That there's something about that dude; he just gets open. But I hope we win. That's a coin toss game, though. It really is, guys. I know, on paper we should crush this team, but no. It's not like that. If you ever watch one of these games, crazy shit happens, man. It really does. So,
Like
Seahawks.
Where the
12th man is pulling for you. Then we got what's the next one? Oh, the night game. The Dallas Cowboys going into New York. The Giants coming off a playoff. Let's see. I believe they won in the wild card round last year, didn't they? Didn't Daniel Jones
they won their first game.
Look like Joe Montana in that first game and just tore up whoever the hell they played? But yeah, I don't think so. Not tonight. Yeah, Dallas.
Well, they got Barkley. They signed him.
They did get Barkley. That's smart of them. That's good.
All I want to do is the whole thing that I want to watch in this game is every time Deuce Vaughn is on the field.
Yes,
I just
no doubt.
That guy.
How tall is he?
5'5".
5'5". They're not going to be able to see him behind that line.
I just want to see it. I want to see him running around out there and making everyone miss. Like that's all I want.
Yeah.
What I'll be interested to see during this season is if Dak struggles, will you have some Cowboys fans asking for Trey Lance?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Can't blame the coordinator.
Could that be why Jones traded for him? Could that be why?
Nobody knows what Jerry Jones.
$55 million against the cap next year, guys. That's all I'm going to tell you. $55 million against the cap next year.
No restructuring.
My boy Dak.
Yeah.
From right here at Houghton High School in Bossier Parish, Louisiana.
They will never win a Super Bowl until Jerry Jones is not calling the shots.
Not the owner. Yeah. No shit.
I tell you what, Joe. I was telling you the other day. I started the Madden. I think was free for this weekend. I think that's why.
Yeah. You told me you're playing it.
And
he's the garbage.
I traded Russell Wilson away, and I actually traded for Trey Lance as my quarterback.
There you go, young legs. There you go.
Yeah, just to have a young guy in there and not pay for Russell Wilson's
contract. Not pay for Russell Wilson's huge.
That's always what I do in Madden first. I always get rid of my teams are like quarterback. By the time my team is like the way I want it, my average age is like 26 years old. and the only people I pay really are the
he
defense.
Nukes me. If I get lucky and beat him in a Super Bowl, it's the first maybe two seasons.
Yeah, because I've already gotten rid of all my guys.
He's got lower tier guys. They're not built up yet, right? But by that third year, those wide receivers are so goddamn fast. I have to play so far back just to make sure they're covered, and it's still not good enough. It's ridiculous, man.
And that's when the running back
blows my doors off after that. After the first
those safeties are far back. So that's the running back right up the middle.
That's it. He runs it to me to death. But let's see. We all took Dallas in this one. Does anybody see any way the Giants are going to win this football game?
Oh yeah. I mean, you're facing Dak. If Dak makes mistakes, Giants are going to do it. If Barkley's having a good day running, it's going to be close.
Yeah.
And you always have the threat of Daniel Jones' legs. He doesn't. I don't think he cares to do it often, but he can.
The record is impressive. So, I'm pretty sure Dak is undefeated against the Giants on opening day games.
Well, I think the biggest thing here is going to be Dallas's defense. Outside of
which,
Dak, throwing picks.
Which boys and girls is impressive. All I've heard this year is Player of the Year. Might as well go ahead and give it to Micah Parsons if he's on 2 feet the rest of the year.
Right? Yeah. The whole taking him out of training camp and
that story out of training camp cracked me up, man. And I'm no big Cowboys fan. Let me be clear. I'm a Seahawks fan, but I hear a lot of Cowboys news around here, and they said during the first week of training camp, about halfway through the second day, they pulled him off the field and said, "Dak, look, we're going to give you a rest. We'd like to see the offense get some work done because he's wrecking shit." This he's generational talent, man. The guy's awesome. He really is. It's something else. But I think it's safe to say Dallas is going to win in that one. And then we've got
NFC East teams on the road always win.
Yeah, they love to go into each other's house and beat each other up.
Giants go to Dallas, Giants are going to win.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. The Giants will win the next one. Yep. Speaking of division games, Monday night we've got the savior of the New York Jets in his home opener against the division champs, the Buffalo Bills.
The Madden cover.
Yeah. Thoughts on this one? I think we all picked Buffalo.
It's going to be an interesting game.
It is going to be interesting. I mean, they're hyping it up so much. Oh, he it looks like he's found the fountain of youth. He's having such a good time in practice. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Bullets fly Monday night, buddy.
Here's the thing about the Jets. Here's how the Jets have a chance. They have a good defense. They have a great coach.
Yeah, they do.
And they have probably the best running back tandem in the league. You got Dalvin Cook, then you got Breece Hall.
Yep.
And you have offensive rookie of the year, I think he was, Garrett Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
At least I don't know if he was a rookie or not, but he was definitely in the running for it.
You talking about the wide receiver?
Yeah, Wilson, Garrett Wilson. Mm-hmm. So I mean, guy's got weapon.
Yeah, he does.
If they can actually run the ball, right, and you have a decent defense, this could be the second coming of Aaron Rodgers, where he doesn't have to do everything. The defense actually makes plays, and then he just, does what he does.
Yeah.
He's still got an accurate arm, so just get it to the guys that need it. Don't turn the ball over. Run the ball, if they can run it.
Yeah.
Can they contain the Buffalo Bills, though?
That's the thing, man. Josh Allen is still Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And
still got Stephon Diggs,
still got a great. I mean, they
don't have Von Miller.
You want to talk about a team that is consistent year to year to year as far as keeping personnel year to year. I don't see any names leaving this team. I don't see any. Now, is Von Miller playing in this game for him?
He's out for like a couple weeks.
Damn.
Yeah, 3 or 4
that
weeks.
Sucks. That sucks. That could be a factor. With Aaron Rodgers, it'd be nice to have him, coming to see him. But we all picked the Bills. I'm sticking with the pick. I don't think.
Yeah,
the Jets sold their soul to the devil, and when you do that, it usually doesn't bode well. And I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just get it. I'm actually considering swapping my picks to the Jets, but.
Do you want me to change it? I'll do it right now.
I'm gonna stick with it.
Okay.
But I'm not going to be surprised if the Jets pull it off. So.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. We don't really know. But
we don't have a lot of information outside of preseason.
We know Aaron Rodgers is a first ballot Hall of Famer and all that stuff. It's just he's on the tail end, and there's been a little bit of a drop off, but not significant enough to think he's going to fail completely.
Character too. He's not patient. He's not. His wide receivers mess up one play, he gets angry, and then
he does. He's very temperamental, and
so
that's not going to bode well in New York. Look, there's two places I've said it a million times you don't want to play quarterback, and that's New York and friggin' Philly. If you screw up in either one of those towns, they're on you like dogs on a bone, man. They it's not nice the way they treat their guys there. I don't know how McNabb stayed in Philly so long. I mean, oof. He faced some serious backlash when they lost big games. Oh my God, they were destroying him.
Well, I mean, he would usually forget that because he couldn't remember what overtime rules were.
No, couldn't remember overtime.
That was an interesting game. But,
got his tummy got a little upset under pressure. In the big one.
It did.
Yeah, it did. It's never fun to be puking on the field.
There's a phrase called talking to Ralph.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's what he did.
Yeah. Okay, so that's week 1 in the books, boys and girls. Picks are in. We'll see how we bode this week. But right now, let me get my faithful pen out, flip this piece of paper over, because it is time to do our predictions for who is going to the big one this year. Will Kansas City repeat, or will it be a new champion? Let's start with the NFC East. We're going to start NFC East.
We're going to do divisional winners.
We're going to do division champs, and we'll do wild cards after that. Okay, hang on just a second. Let me get everybody's name down here. We got Knock, we got Joe, and we've got Matt. And the other two can just whatever. They can send it to me later. Doesn't really matter. Not this early. The early games doesn't really matter. Okay, so Knock, who you got for the NFC East? The division, by the way, that used to be the NFC least, and now, wow, it's a power division, big time. Who you got? Who's taking it this year? Will Philly repeat?
AFC East.
NFC East, the
NFC,
National
I'm sorry.
Football
Okay.
Conference East.
Sorry, I'm typing while I'm.
That's cool.
Okay. It changes every other year.
Yes, it does.
Seems like I don't see the Commanders having enough strength to do it.
No.
Giants, I don't know if they're strong enough to pass the Eagles. And it's just the Cowboys and Eagles, really. I mean, just look at the problem with the Cowboys is they always come out fast. That's why they're probably going to win this week, because they always start really well, and then they fade away, and then they just struggle the rest of the year, just like maintain, and then always fail. But the Eagles, they're built to last. They have, they let Miles Sanders go, which I felt was a little weird. And then you go out and you try to get other quarterbacks or other running backs. That don't really make sense to me. Why not just pay the guy?
Yeah.
So,
nobody paid running backs till the nth hour this year.
Right.
I mean,
So I don't want to go with the safe bet, but I might have to.
I'm going with them. I don't see anybody who's going to step up and beat this team. The only ones that can do it is Dallas.
Yeah,
Dallas is the only one that can do it.
Look,
and I'm not a believer. That they've shown me nothing that make me think that they can beat them.
Yeah, for me, it's like who could survive with the biggest injury on their team?
Yeah.
And
Philly could survive it.
Could they survive Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, I believe they could survive Jalen Hurts.
And then can Dallas survive?
Because they can run the fucking football like it's nobody's business. That's why.
So I'm going to go Eagles.
Yeah. What you got, Matt?
Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly. There it is. We're all on that bandwagon. South. The NFC South. A division in flux. The GOAT is gone.
I go the least.
Yeah, the NFC least now.
I got to imagine it's going to be between the Falcons and the Saints, unless Baker shows up in Tampa.
I've got the Saints.
That's a tough one, man.
I've got the Saints.
That's a tough. You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb on this one. I really am. I'm going to go Falcons.
You're going to go Falcons.
I'm going to go. This is my bold prediction kind of pick. It's hard to tell.
It is hard to tell.
I'm leaning towards the Saints. I really am, but who knows?
Who's the veteran quarterback in the division?
Baker.
Huh?
Baker.
Is it Baker?
Carr.
Is he not a veteran?
I think it's Carr.
They
may come in the same year.
Who's a veteran? That's a very broad term there. But
yeah, right.
You didn't say who's the most veteran.
Right.
Semantics, they matter.
Right. Matt,
Saints.
who you got? Saints? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Knock has the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, I'm just
all right. Let's see. The North. The Norse division, as Boomer likes to call it.
I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Lions? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's their year.
Detroit. I'm going to go with the Vikings myself. Detroit has to show me. Everything looks great so far, but they have to show me.
Yeah,
I'll go Detroit.
Yeah, it's always consistency. Can the Lions sustain this throughout the whole season?
Yep. That's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So
that one right there, though.
Not
you want to talk about a division in flux? Dalvin Cook's gone, right? Detroit's on the rise, and they can't talk enough about the two other quarterbacks in the division from Chicago and Green Bay from the preseason. So, really, that's a crapshoot, that division right there.
Hey, Joe, who's the veteran quarterback?
Who's the veteran quarterback? No doubt. It's the guy I can't stand. Yep. Let's see. Okay. The NFC West, the team, the division that used to be the deep end of the pool. But that's quickly becoming the AFC West. What's that? What'd you say, Matt?
I think that's going to be a two-team race. I just don't.
It is a two-team race.
Yeah,
but
I'm really.
Does anybody want to go walk in the plank and taking my team though? That's the thing. I mean,
it's definitely one of them. And I'm not that high on the Rams. So
which you shouldn't be.
I have the Rams third in that division. So.
Yeah, same here. So and then. Cardinals. Yeah,
that's a basement dweller. They're not going
fifth. I have them fifth.
Fifth in the division. Fifth in the 4-team race.
they're behind Georgia. They're behind Georgia.
Yes.
So, Georgia just stepped up. Like that should be a thing.
Right.
Like you're number one in the NCAA. You just automatically go up.
So you're saying it should be like soccer over in Europe, where is it the English Premier League, where like if you're the best team in the second best tier, you move up to the first tier?
I think the European Football League does the same thing too, something like that. But
I hear dogs bark, and that means some of my guests are arriving. Excuse me. Okay. So who do you think?
There's something about the 49ers I just don't trust, and I'm not sure what it is. So I'm kind of leaning Seahawks on this one. But
okay, all right. Hey, I hope
I just feel like this is the year that when you're coming back from such a good year last year. Something about him. I'm actually going to go Seahawks on this one.
Okay.
Last year I was all about the 49ers, but this year I'm just something about it.
I'm going Niners, but Brock Purdy.
I felt like that was too Cinderella for me. I think
he's mediocre.
He is mediocre, but this is the thing. Me and my brother have had discussions about this several times. Organizations are built from the top down. And the Niners are one of the best organizations in football. For the GM all the way down to the fucking equipment managers, they are really good at it. And I just think if there's a testament to anything, Purdy's victories last year are because of that coaching staff. And I just really think that if you've got a top-notch coaching staff, you're going to go a long way in today's NFL. And that's why I'm picking the 49ers. I love my Seahawks. Don't get me wrong. I love to be wrong, but Pete's getting long in the tooth, and he's not going to build another Legion of Boom. And that's what carried us to 2 Super Bowls. It wasn't the play of Russell Wilson. It wasn't the offense at all.
By the way,
it was all driven by that defense. So
Pete still runs around like a maniac.
He does, man. If you guys watch film of that shit, he's out there throwing the football at 70-something, man. It's ridiculous, and not throwing shitty passes either. He looks like he knows what he's doing. It's ridiculous. I'd love to pick him, but I just don't until we get past the 49ers hump. It's just not happening. Okay, so next we move on to the AFC East. No, Tom Brady is not walking through that door, boys and girls. It's the Buffalo Bills division. Are the New York Jets going to knock them off the top? What do you think, guys? Or can Miami keep Tua up for 17 games? See, that I write Miami off right away just because of their quarterback. He's going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt at some point in the season. He did it at Alabama. He's done it at Miami, and I just don't see him playing 17-game season. Do you guys?
I would be surprised if he played every game. I'll go ahead and quote Chris Berman. Nobody circles the wagons
like the Buffalo Bills, baby. No doubt. Yep. I'm picking them too. Jets are going to have to prove it to me. You want to go on that limb, Knock?
I kind of do. Just
okay.
To be different. I kind of do.
Okay.
I think the smart play is the Bills. They're obviously going to be in the playoffs, so I'll put them as my number one wild card. But yeah, I'll go on the limb. Why not?
Okay, you're going to take the Jets. All right. Hey, and look, as much as we talk about, Aaron Rodgers getting old and all this stuff, guess what? He's still. I'd take him tomorrow as my quarterback. I would. The guy. He comes with baggage, no doubt about it. The guy's an egomaniac. Yep. Look what they did. They had to get his old boy from your team, the head coach. They got let go. They had to get Hackett over there to make him happy. He comes with baggage, but he's a talented dude. He really is.
I forget who said it. He's the CM Punk of the NFL.
That's it. He's the CM Punk of the NFL. That is a perfect analogy. That's exactly what he is, no doubt. Okay, the South. I got Jaguars taking the division.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, Texans no, Jags no.
The only team that could knock them off is Tennessee. That's the only one, and I just don't trust their quarterback, man. I would trust the guy from Clemson. It's failing me. What's his name?
Watson.
No.
No. You're talking about
Jacksonville.
Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. I'd trust that hippie son of a gun over fucking Ryan Tannehill any day.
Yep.
I mean, I really would.
Sunshine.
Here's the thing. It's just with Tennessee, it's always like they're going to win games. Like it's just the way. And can they win more games than the Jags? That's going to be the thing.
And I hate it for Vrabel. I just wish he'd get another trigger man, dude. Damn, he's a good coach.
I don't know. It's just to me, it's not just about how good the Jags do. It's more about how many games the Tennessee wins, which they usually do win a lot of games. It's just they don't do anything in the playoffs. So could they get the division without being better than the Jags? Yeah.
Are you taking Tennessee?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stick with Tennessee as the division leader, not the better team, but as the division leader.
Got you. I understand. Yeah. What do you got, Matt?
Jacksonville.
Yeah. I'm with you. That's a team on the rise, dude. They are. Let's see. The Norse division in the AFC. You want to talk about a stacked division. If the dominoes fall correctly, any one of these teams can win this division. Any one of them. I mean, it's not like Cleveland's not talented. They've got some great play. Hell, they still got Njoku from you guys, right? Don't they still have him at friggin' tight end? Doesn't Cleveland still have them?
Yeah, they do.
I think this is the best division in football.
Yeah, it's the division games are going to be must-see TV. They really are. Man, this is a tough one to call. I don't trust Baltimore just because of their trigger man. He's talented. He wins. Much like Tennessee, they win tons of games during the regular season. But when it comes down to crunch time, he just has not proven he can do it.
I'm going Bengals.
You kind of got to go with Joe Burrow, don't you? I mean, that guy, you can beat him up all game, and he's going to rip your throat out in the fourth quarter. I'm going to go with the Bengals as the division winner. That's what I'm going to go with in this one.
Yep, me too.
Cincinnati. What do you got, Knock? Who do you think?
I'm going to go
the
Bengals.
Ravens?
I'm going to go Bengals.
Okay.
Ravens, Mark got paid. He doesn't care.
I would not be shocked. I'm not saying it's going to happen, and we'll talk about when we get the wild card thing, but I would not be shocked to see 3, maybe even 4 teams from this division going. That would not be beyond the pale.
I'm already looking at the wild card. It's like, that's going to be really tough to choose.
It is. Okay, so the last one is your division, Knock. The NFC West. Who you got?
I mean, as much as I would
the
like
AFC
to,
West. Excuse me, AFC West.
This is another one of the best divisions in the league right here.
Yep.
You got potentially, anyways. You got the Chiefs. I still think the Chiefs are going to take it. The
Raiders are in the cellar just because of the trigger.
Hopefully,
Raiders are in the cellar.
I hope so. Yep. And you got the Chargers, who are young and another one of those up and coming teams. You got a young quarterback and like a superstar, and So, but I don't know if the Chargers are quite ready yet. And then you got the Broncos, who can they turn it around? So I'm gonna stick with the Chiefs, just because they're gonna be okay. They're gonna be fine.
They're gonna be fine. They are.
Eventually, they'll work out the Jones thing, and they'll get Kelsey back. And if they have to, they'll go get a wide receiver.
Yeah,
they'll grab somebody. There's plenty of time before the trade deadline.
Look, there's a reason why the last 5 AFC championships have been played in Kansas City. There's a reason for that shit. They're that fucking good. I mean, it's a testament. Once again, coaching Andy Reid. It's a testament to him. The guy knows how to get it done.
And in week 1 in NCAA, Marvin Harris Jr. only caught 2 passes for like 18 yards, and then yesterday he got 11 catches for 160 yards or something like that. And
just because they lose opening day.
I'm not saying it's going to happen.
No.
But if they come out early and Tony catches 3 catches on the first, drive, there's going to be a reason for that. It's because Andy Reid's like, I need to build up his confidence, and we need to get Tony in there because he is a talent. He has skills. He's in the NFL for a reason.
They got him from the Giants for a reason.
They got him to fill that Tyreek Hill role.
Yeah, that's what
Right.
he was supposed to do.
So I think there's going to be a big emphasis. And if he can't do it, then they'll get rid of him. He
Mhm.
won't play.
Yeah.
They're not going to keep pounding him in there and trying to get it to work.
Mhm.
So
these guys are back, huh? Go away. I already silenced you once. Okay. So, who you got, Matt? You think Kansas City is going to repeat?
The autumn wind is a Chief. Going with
I was fixing to say, I know he's not going on that damn limb. I know better than that shit. Okay. Hey, let's see. Let's start with the NFC wild cards. Knock, who you got for the wild card teams in the NFC?
NFC.
So are there three?
Three. There are 3 wild card teams in each conference.
So I'm going to go. I'm not going to do this in any particular order.
No, there's no reason to do order. Yeah. I just need the 3 teams.
I'm going to do Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
And San Fran.
Okay. That's solid. Matt, who you got?
Dallas, Vikings, and Seahawks.
Okay. I am going to say Detroit because I said the Vikings were going to win the division. I'm going to say, let me see. Yeah, the South is not going to have a wild card team. Yeah, Dallas. And the Seahawks. Yep. We're all pretty much the same on that. Dallas is going on all of our sheets. And yeah, the 3 divisions are the same. Nobody coming out of the South. So, okay. So we got that. Okay, AFC wildcard teams, Knoxter.
Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Say Baltimore.
Ravens. Okay.
I'm gonna go.
Is the Denver Broncos going to be on that list?
Let's do it. Last walk.
Denver.
Denver.
Can't help it.
I can't help it. That's a pure bias pick. You got Pittsburgh. You got the Chargers. You got you got Miami, Tennessee, or Jacksonville. Either one, depending on who you pick for your division. So there's just so many. I'm just going to go with Broncos and stop thinking about it.
The AFC is less clear cut, in my opinion, for wild cards.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll go ahead and pick mine. I'm going to say, let's see. I'm going to say Baltimore and Pittsburgh make it out of that division, and the New York Jets. That's what I think is going to happen. I think Tennessee misses the playoffs this year, and it's going to be Ryan Tannehill's fault. This is going to be the year they finally fucking get rid of that guy or get rid of Vrabel because of it. One of the two.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay,
so
Matt.
I'm going Baltimore, and then the other 2 I don't feel good about. But I'll go with the Chargers and Dolphins.
Ooh, Miami. There you go. All right. So we've got it all laid out. Now, knowing all this, I need a Super Bowl pick and a winner.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go first since I've been going last a lot.
Yeah.
Go for it, Matt.
So I'll be very boring here. Well, not entirely boring. I'm going to step out on a little bit of a limb here.
Okay.
A small limb.
Okay.
Bengals versus Eagles. And I'll go Bengals.
Joe Burrow gets it done. Gets his cigar.
Joe Cool.
Joe Cool gets the cigar he's always wanted. Yes. What a deal.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool.
That's kind of what I was thinking too, to be honest. I was thinking Bengals Eagles as well. Let me think on this.
Well, I mean, you could still pick the same thing because we have other differences.
I can't. You got cooties, so.
I'm taking I'm going to take Cincinnati.
If we all three pick Cincinnati, Das Wolf and Matt blow a gasket.
He might. I'm taking Cincinnati over the San Francisco 49ers in the Super Bowl. And I say Joe Burrow gets his cigar. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I went with the Bills last year. I'm going to go with them again this year.
Okay. Buffalo.
Let's go.
On the and according to you, on the road all the way to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
As long as they don't have to go to Kansas City. Yeah.
Right.
Let's hope the Bengals knock out the Chiefs and that'll work out. So that's all that's going to happen. That's it. So
right. Okay.
And then for the NFC, let's go.
You got to go Philly, don't you? It's Philly or San Fran.
I'm going to go Lions.
Or is it the Seahawks? Go ahead, say it. Seahawks.
Let's do Lions.
Lions. The Detroit Lions.
I'm going out of there. They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Super Bowl champs. They beat the Super Bowl champs.
Opening
so now
night
they're going to the Super Bowl.
And make it all over the Super Bowl.
If it was the Cowboys that beat the Chiefs the other night, right? It'd be the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl.
Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl, right?
The Lions
Joe,
are going
Who do you have winning this fiasco that you've created?
Bills. I think the Bills will get the
Bills finally get off the snide.
Yeah. I'm not very confident.
No, wait a minute.
In their fifth Super Bowl appearance, they finally shake that monkey off their back and beat the Detroit Lions. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, exactly.
If the Bills, the Bengals, or the Lions, if either one of those three win the Super Bowl, the world, we might be nearing Armageddon.
Dude, yeah. I'm not a big believer in end times prophecies and stuff like that, but yeah, hell might be freezing over. It might be.
I for one would enjoy it because I was really it made me enjoy the game more.
It would be an enjoyable game to watch because neither one of those fucking teams have ever been won a Super Bowl.
Right.
Neither one of them.
That's what I always root for. Like when the Eagles and the Pats were playing in that Super Bowl, I was going for the Eagles. Not just because it's the Pats. And
I tell you, I came really close to putting the Cleveland Browns in there as a wild card team instead of the New York Giants and just putting the whole fucking North Division of the AFC into the fucking
that's
playoffs.
what we thought the AFC. Well, that's what I thought the AFC was going to be last year. We were coming off the Derek Carr's and his.
Let's not go into detail about that, bro.
Yeah, and then
let's not do that.
Is
they heard it all last year. They heard it all. Look, folks, if you want to know what he thinks about Denver, just go look at last year. He was upset. He was wildly upset.
He's bad. Okay, he's bad.
And as far as the Lions pick, Joe, it kind of goes to your the clip that Daniel plays of Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
To be the man, you got to beat the man.
You got to beat the man. That's right. Absolutely. To be the man, you got to beat the man. I don't even think I have that one on here. No, I don't. I need to put some more clips on this because I didn't have as many clips last year when we were doing the show. So, but anyway, yeah. Well, guys, we got about 15 minutes to get our drinks, get our snacks, and get in front of the TV set. So, anybody want to push anything before we get out of here? Besides what I'm fixing to push?
Not really. No, just I might just, at least for the time being, I might just do the shared streams or whatever with you while I'm on, just to get it going, kind of. But
yeah, go check him out.
Whether or not I do my own things, I don't know about that. But it's
right.
I'll have to change my name on here from Knock to.
Let me go ahead and put you guys' links up here. Hang on a second.
Well, now Knock is somebody that's never streamed anything. I want to give you some advice. You're on Twitch, so that's like gaming, right? That's big into gaming. So you can use all the gaming words. All the gaming words.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. No, the only reason I'm not doing it on YouTube right now because apparently you have to wait 24 hours to stream on YouTube after you've connected your thing to StreamYard. All right,
guys. So this in the chat. This is Knox YouTube channel. That's the link there, and then let me get my man, Small Time Republic, over there on Twitter. That's where he likes you to interact with him.
Yep.
Let's see.
I put I've got my
or X, whatever the hell they're calling it now.
Yeah, and I've got my YouTube link on my Twitter account in case I ever actually do anything with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love having you. Don't stop doing YouTube, man. Don't stop doing YouTube, please. and there's Small Time Republic over there on X. It says Twitter still, though. It says twitter.com. Damn it. All right, guys, let me let you know what's going on with the channel. Of course, you're watching, let's see, you watched our prediction show, 2023 prediction show. Pregame Party's on every Sunday at 10 a.m., 2 hours before your kickoff. All these times are central. And then Monday, you can catch me on That 70s Rock Fans channel in the afternoon at 4 p.m. Central, and on Gary's Morning Coffee with Gary over on Pop Culture Minefield. We'll be doing The Last Samurai tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. And definitely try and make this one because it's Gary's first stream back after being on the bench for about a month or so, maybe longer, with a little bit of an injury to his foot. So try and tune in for that one at 10 a.m. Central Time on Monday morning. And then, hang on a second. Let's make a command decision right now. Do we want to do Court 2 tomorrow night? I really want to see that game. I want to watch Aaron Rodgers. I think we skip it a week. It's opening weekend, man. Okay. What do you think? That's what I want.
We can also probably even do it Wednesday night since, I'm off this week.
Yeah, we could move it to Wednesday night. Yeah, but are you going to be up? Do you want to do it at 10? Because that's when we'd have to do it. Okay. All right. So we're going to move that one to 10 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday this week.
That'll make sense.
And, of course, Tuesday at 10 p.m. Central Time, I'll be playing DC Universe Online. You can join me for that if you want to play a little bit, Knock, if you want to do that one.
Looks like a lot of Foxy going on there.
A lot of Foxy going on there, baby. You know it. She, I asked her the other day, I said, you don't mind me putting your face on the chicks on my thumbnail? She goes, no. So that's very cool. All right. And then, of course, Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Central, you can see us on State of the Atmosphere, where we talk about all the pop culture stuff, movies and video games and comic books and stuff like that. And then Thursday, the Brothers Hack the Matrix at 6 p.m. Central Time. That's our political show me and my brother do every week, showing you the week's headlines and breaking them down, pulling back the curtain, and telling you what's really going on behind those headlines. At 6 p.m. Central Time, the Brothers Hack the Matrix. And then Saturday, you can watch me work on my comic book, Sketching the Privateer, at 1:30 p.m. Central Time on Saturday afternoons. And that's it. That brings us right back around to Sunday morning. So, for myself, and oh my God, these guys found another way to get in here. Dude, they just got all kinds of URLs, don't they? Good Lord. That's crazy. Okay. Oh, yeah. So,
you're big time.
Yeah, I guess I'm big time. I've got the spammers now.
Yeah, right.
This is the first time. This is the first time in a while I've had the spammers. So hey, that's a good sign. But anyway, for myself, Knock, and Small Time Republic, I want to thank you guys for being here. And until we see you again, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. And I'm gonna find this video. I mean, it's going to take a second, but I'm going to find it. God bless, guys. We'll see you next time.